Good morning and welcome to the Craft Room. I'm Ellie Barnes. I'm glad you could join me this morning. We're going to do another Christmas card today because I think it's time we got really into Christmas. So it's time I put my cuppa down and we got into it. I'm going to use the Decorative Tree set, which is in the new annual catalogue. So if you haven't got the catalogue, don't forget to give me a call or send me a message and I'll get one sent to you. But right now, let's get started on a card that, well, I was going to say that's got a little bit of a difference. It's not. I had one of my customers say to me, I can't afford to buy everything. And I can't afford to buy the gold paper and make all these Christmas cards because I'll use so much. So here, I want to show you an alternative to using gold foil, but still make the card look like it's got gold on it. So let's have a look what I've got for you. Now, I'm going to rearrange and try and get this down to the desk. It's my big difficulty, as you know. There's the ceiling. There's the desk. Now, someone told me I can zoom it in. And I'd like to do that, but I don't see it doing it. I'm pinching and pinching. We may not be able to zoom in because it's not doing what they said it would do. It's not coming up with my zoom button. So I don't know. I will practice with that during the week, but it's not doing what they said it would do. So we'll just pop my cuppa out of the road and we'll get started. Look, you can see all the mess around the edge of my desk, but that's what happens when you're crafting. Oh, now before we do get started, I better make sure we are going live in the right place. Nothing worse than I've put it on my private page or something. Okay, let's get started. We're going to use this stamp set called Decorative Trees, and we're going to use the dies that match. It comes with these two lots of beautiful dies. I really, really love them. I had a little play and I've decided we're going to use this die with the tree so it fits in nicely. And of course we need a star on top. So we'll just put those aside, but you can see there's so many different patterns you can put on your tree. Also, you've got baubles that you could put on and ribbons. Or there's the baubles, there's the garlands. So there's a lot you can do with this set. But we're not going to do all that today. I'm going to concentrate on these three pieces. And I'm using the words, Oh Christmas Tree. We've got Season's Greeting for you, a very Merry Christmas. And that would fit into the tree by the looks of it. And also some patterns to put on your stamping, and May your days be merry. Plus you've got a few things that, like the star and the balls, that you can punch out as well, or a die cut out I should say. So I'll pop this up here. This is the set we're using. We're also going to use this embossing folder. It's not a 3D one, so it doesn't have as deep of an impression in the paper, but I still think it's a fabulous embossing folder, and I use it quite a bit. It's called So Swirly. So we'll pop that aside also. I'll pop these in my little dish over here so I don't lose them. Let's bring in our cutter, and we're going to start with cutting our cardstock, and I'm actually having a black card base. And I'm just going to do a normal card size, which is 14.8 millimetres. 14.8 centimetres. And I'm going to fold it with my bone folder. Now, it's frayed slightly, but it's not too bad. I find some cardstock frays worse than others, and I find the black frays quite a bit. But if it's really bad, just a little bit of sandpaper will clean that up, but that's not bad at all. We'll put this aside for another card, another time. I'm also going to cut out, come here, wild wheat. And this is my little secret to making things look gold when you don't have the gold foil. So, wild wheat, we're going to cut that 1/2 centimetre smaller, so we're doing 14.3 by 10, which is 1/2 centimetre smaller all around. And I want 2 of those. And they're going to form a border around my white cardstock. So let's get the white cardstock happening too. Put that aside. Keep these bits. That would be great to stamp "May Your Days Be Merry" in black on. So you keep these little bits. And then we're going to take our white cardstock, and it's not going to be 1/2 centimetre under, it's only going to be 3 millimetres under our frame or our border. Our wild wheat pretend gold border. Again, ideal for stamping greetings, season's greetings, and oh, Christmas tree would fit on that lovely. So pop that aside to keep. So it was 14 centimetres by 9.7. And I'll show you how all this fits together. And I'm doing it both on the front of the card and inside the card. I think that's all the cutting today. So just to give you an idea of what we're doing, we're going to put the card, the gold or the wild wheat, the pretend gold on, and then we'd be putting our white on, and it would just have a little gold border around it, like so. Now, as I said, I haven't worked out how to zoom. They told me what, I read up what to do, or watched a video on what to do, I should say, and it didn't work. So I'll be back to the drawing board to learn how to zoom this in. But there you go. So that's what it'll look like, but we need to decorate that. So we're going to do some black trees. And that one will fit like that, I think. I might get 2 there, but we'll do that. And I want some gold decoration and a gold star. So to do the decoration, I want to make it easy for myself. So I'm going to take a bit of, these are the, what do they call them? They call them adhesive sheets. And they're fantastic when you're doing fine work. So I only need a small piece. Caught up in, ooh, my big scissors have jumped into the, wanted to jump into the screen. So we'll put this piece. And I find using my pick the easiest way. So that bit can go in the bin. And this, I'll do it this way because it's a little bit wider, this bottom end. Can go on there. So let's get our cut and emboss machine in, because I can emboss this one. This is going on the front, so we want to emboss it in our swirls. And then I need to cut out a tree and a star and the decorations. So I'll push that up. We'll pop these aside and bring the cut and emboss machine in. Now it's set up for cutting, so we'll do that first. We'll tree on. Will it fit this way? I think it'll fit that way and we'd get two. We might get two. And check that that's going on top of this, the adhesive backing bit and the star up the top. And through it goes. Oh, there goes the star on the floor. This is where I lose dies. No, found it. These are all normal stamping, cutting things that happen, aren't they? And before we get rid of this, we'll take off sheet 1 and we'll follow the instructions. It says here we need 2 number 3s, our embossing folder with the fold going in first, and a number 3 on top. Oh, I've got the dirty one on top. You can't see what I'm doing. Let's put the clean one on top. And we'll just run this back through the other way. Right. So let's get rid of our cut and emboss machine. And there's our beautiful wavy piece of cardstock. We have a black Christmas tree. We have the star that went flying. And I'll put this one in here. And we have this one. Now, there's a lot of pieces in there that we don't need, so you can pop them out. But one of the things I find is, it doesn't happen completely always, but we'll give it a go. When you take the backing off, and again I use my pick to lift it, it peels off most of your bits. Oh, it's done them all for us. So that can go straight into the rubbish. We'll put you aside, and with this sticky one, we're just going to put it on the Christmas tree. Now, doesn't that look like gold when it's sitting on the black like that? It doesn't have the shine because it's just cardstock, but it has that look. Now, I've done a bit of prep beforehand. I have some stars cut and a tree cut, but I want one of these trees, or I actually want 2 of these trees, to be smaller. And I undenied what to do, and I probably didn't have to cut it out. I could have put this on, perhaps got just straight cardstock, actually, but it doesn't matter. And we're just fussy cutting around that gold edge, and this can make this tree smaller but still the same look. It's not a hard cut, it's fussy cutting around this shape. In fact, it's quite easy because if you go too far, it sort of guides you back out. And there we are. And I've actually, through the magic of television, prepared them beforehand. Well, where's this last star? So I have 4 stars, 2 big Christmas trees and 2 small Christmas trees. So it's about time we started putting things together. I'll get rid of the rubbish and put those bits aside. The first thing I want to do, actually, before I do that, is I want some gold ribbon. Now, this is the very vanilla, and it's the, what are they calling it? The satin ribbon. And it's, yeah, very vanilla. And I want a bit of this to appear gold. So again, I've just taken my wild wheat, and this is one of the blends. This is the dark wild wheat blend. And I'm just going to colour in. And while I'm putting the other bits of the card together, this can start drying. Now I need enough to go across the card, and I need a bit more to tie. So we might go up as far as here. Then we've got plenty. And it's as simple as that to get yourself a gold ribbon. Right. So we'll just leave that. I just hang it off my, I've got a little trolley here with my cut and emboss machine, and I just hang it off there. And the beauty, of course, with the gold plate, the glass plate, got gold on my mind now, the glass plate is I can just clean it up. I don't need to put scrap pieces of paper down, and I'll just get, that's a wet one, a wet one, and then I just wipe it over with a dry wet one. That doesn't make sense, does it? A dry wet one. Now we can work on that surface again. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some splatters to both this and this. This one I'm only going to put a Christmas tree. I could actually cut it smaller for in here. In fact, I think I will. I think I'll cut it smaller this time. I did a practice run yesterday, but now I've decided I want it smaller. Oh, well, that's all right. We can do another fussy cut. It's the thing about this shape, it's pretty easy. And if you're like me, I've been cutting out Christmas trees for years. How many Christmas trees? Oh, if I had $1 for every Christmas tree I cut out, we might be rich. No, it wouldn't be rich because I'm too busy crafting. I'd blow it all on crafting products, wouldn't I? I think that's what crafters do. We tend to get ideas and follow our ideas. There we go. So I'm going to put this down here. So I just want a few speckles in that corner, and this one I want speckles all over. I'm using, again, the wild wheat in the marker or the Stamping Right markers. And I'm just going to, I put a little bit of ink there, but I'm just going to splash. And you probably, because we're so far out, can't see what's happening, but I will show you. Oh, it's going more on that one, isn't it? Good. I will hold them up so you can see them in a minute. Right. So I've got these lovely speckles all over the card, and also on this one, but more on this side where I'm going to put the tree. So what we can do now is glue these onto their framed or base. Just a little bit of encouragement when it's an embossing folder to stick. And we'll glue this one onto here. Come up a little bit. I love this glue because you've got wiggle room. Before it dries, you've got a minute or two to push it exactly where you want. So we'll finish off the inside of the card. We're going to pop this tree on. Just like so. Oops, don't move on me. And some of these, that one is the one I haven't. I actually have cut them out when I've been cutting out the trees, the decorations for the trees. So they've got the backing on them, the adhesive backing. So, come on. There we go. So we can just pop that on like so. And that gives us our inside of the card with a few speckles and our tree. We'll pop that aside. This one, I'm going to glue 2 trees side by side. So where's my glue? What? I didn't put the lid on. Just a little squiggle all over. And I'm going to put a star on the top of each of these. Come on, there you go. I find I've got to talk to things sometimes to make them work. You don't look straight, tree. You're a bit crooked. Oh, just managed to get it in time. That's better. And this star. And there we go. Now, how's our ribbon going? Let's see if it's dry. Put the lid on this. Yes, lovely and dry and looking very, very golden. I love this wild wheat colour. I hope it's one that comes back because it's going to go in April next year and I'll be very disappointed to see it go. So first thing I'm going to do is put a piece of ribbon across there. So we'll just get a little bit done like so. I want it to just go across those trees. So I'm just going to turn that up that way. Bit of tear-in tape. And you can always use your grid underneath to make sure that your ribbons are straight. And a bit on this side. And I'm as crooked as can be. But there you go, bit of a touch up and it's fine. This tree I'm putting on with dimensionals. And as we get further up, I need small ones. Even that's a bit big. Could have done even smaller. And on the star, I'm just going to cut a little tiny bit to put on the back of this star. That's why I didn't need the adhesive. I'll pull that down a bit. There we go. The adhesive on the back of that one. And I want this tree in between with its star. And this piece, I'm just going to tie a bow. And I love how thick and generous this looks. And we'll just do this one this way, opposite ways. Now, needs a bit of bling, doesn't it? Gold's supposed to be sparkly. So, Winker Stella. Let's colour in the stars. We'll do the same on this one. And you can try and just add a little bit of sparkle onto some of the gold bits. Doesn't matter if it hits the black. We'll just put a few on this. So that, and this might be a bit hard to see on camera, but it just gives it a sparkle. I don't know if you can catch those sparkles, but it just gives a bit of a sparkle. No, it's not really showing, is it? Oh, a little bit on the stars you can see, a little bit on the trees. Another thing we're going to do is to make sure we're getting sparkle. Oh, I need to do the label before we do the next bit. So we'll just put these to a side. And I wanted to make a label and I threw it away. I realise. Here's my bits, my cut off bits. I think that piece, I need 2 centimetres. 2 centimetres, we can go over here, measure it. It's just over 2 centimetres, that will do. No need to fussy cut. I'm going to emboss the label because I want it to be black and shiny. So again, use your embossing buddy, gets off the static electricity, it gets off fingerprints, so that when you put the embossing powder on, it doesn't stick. Now, I'm just going to do it here. Actually, that's too high, Ellie. Let's turn over and start again. Oh, we might just make sure those edges are nice and flat, because sometimes when you cut cardstock, the other side has a bit of a ridge on the edge. And get your head over it a bit more. There we go. That looks a bit better placement. So we'll bring in our embossing powder. You can see I've already done some on my practice card. If I tried to work this out with you, we'd be here forever. I like to know what I'm doing so that it doesn't take me so long. Now, I'll just put a little bit more on, make sure it's all well and truly covered. I like to flick any excess off. Looks really dull, doesn't it? I'll pop this aside. We'll bring in our heat tool. I'll hold it up and hopefully you can see it change. Give it a bit of heat underneath to give it a quick run. I can't see what's happening. I need to stand up. But I don't know if you can see, it's now getting very dark and shiny. There you go. You can see it as it's going. So now it's all shiny and the colours come out and it's a lot darker. And turn that off so you can hear me. I'll just get that cord out of the road. So it's dark, it's shiny. Now, I'm not doing anything too fancy on this hat. I'm going to just cut this end and I'll do it in the middle here, but I know it's 2 centimetres or just over 2 centimetres. So if I put a little mark, that off, or it's a bit long, we'll cut it a bit shorter. It's not quite straight, Ellie, but that's all right. So actually it's not, because it means it won't be straight. I'm doing a flag end. So we'll put it on the on so we can see where 1 centimetre is, and I want it to come into there. So rather than use a pen, it's about there. I've just put a little mark with my pick, and I'm just going to cut from the corners to the mark. Now I could have used a pencil to make that mark, but then I'd have to rub out if it was still showing. So that's the easiest way to do it. And it doesn't show anything when you put it down. Now I'll just get some dimensionals on the back of this. Let's get some of this mess out of the road. We're surrounded by mess, Ellie. Are you a messy crafter? I can be. By the end of my day, if I'm creating trying to create some new cards, the place looks a disaster zone. And then that's just going to sit there, like so. So that's nice and shiny on my card. Hopefully that's showing up. My trees still need a little bit, the ribbon needs a little bit, it all needs a bit of bling. And rather than put bling on, because we've got this lovely big ribbon and that, I'm going to just do some Winker Stella splashing. And I don't care where it lands, it's just going, I want lots on my Christmas trees. But it can go over my sign, just giving the whole area a bit of, we'll do lots, do it faster. Now again, this may not show up on screen, but believe me, it gives a really lovely look. I don't know, can you see that? That tree, that big tree. Oh yes, there you go, I've got it shown. It's all glittery. It's hard to get it to show, but there it is. So it's all glittery all over the card. So then we're just going to put it together on our card base. Yeah. And as you know, I always put bling on my cards. Well, I'm not putting bling on this because I felt there was just so much going on with it, with the beautiful big ribbon that looks golden, and with the Winker Stella flicked all over the place, and even the wild wheat. In fact, I didn't do wild wheat. Let's try this. What's the trees look like with wild wheat flicked on them? I don't know if it's going to show or not. I don't think it's showing. No, it's not showing. Doesn't matter. So, I don't know if you can see how that looks, but that's my card. My fake gold. So if you think you can't afford to buy gold foil, grab yourself some wild wheat cardstock and some Winker Stella. And if you look at those stars, do they show up? Can you see how shiny, like gold, those stars are? So that's my card, that's my fake gold. Let me know what you think. Does it look like gold to you? Or does it look like, I've used a yucky colour. We used to call this a yucky colour because we all thought it just didn't work. But when I started using it and started realising that it gives the impression of gold when you haven't got gold, I was really impressed with it. So I'm going to pop you back up to me. Oh, thank you, Liz. Thank you. I'm glad you're watching and you've enjoyed that. I thought I'd got the... I'm bringing you back. We don't need the curtain. I thought I'd got it all worked out. I followed all the instructions on how to zoom in close, and I thought, oh, I've got this. This is going to work better today, but it didn't. So, but we'll get there. So, anyhow, that's my card, my fake gold. I hope you like it. You can easily do this yourself. It's not hard. In fact, you can see it was a very easy card to make, and I encourage you to grab this set. It's just one little bundle, but look at all the different trees you can make. I've still got 4 more designs, 4 more different patterns I could put on, and bigger ones. Another 5. There's 7 different designs to put on the tree, because you've also got this one here. So there's lots there you can do, as well as put on the balls and all that. A bit fiddly, but that'd look great too. So quick and easy, but I think I love to show you something that I think you could do yourself. It's nice to do some exciting, long, difficult cards at times, like I did last week, but I want you to be able to enjoy crafting. I want to show you how quick and easy it can be. So give me a hoy if you're interested in getting hold of this set, or the embossing folder. Don't forget that's a beauty too, and it's the big size. So we're talking, when I say big size, you could emboss the card base back and front. Not a problem in the world. In fact, I did that with a card just recently in my class, and I can show you how that comes out. We didn't use that embossing folder because it's the birds, which I've done before. But you can see it's embossed there at the front and the back. So we put the whole thing through the embossing folder. This is the wrong embossing folder. Where did I put it? Down here. This is the wrong one, but you can see it fits. And it came through, and then on the inside we put a piece of cardstock to write on, and on the outside, and it gives a lovely feel and impression on your card that gives a luxury feel and look. So the large embossing folders are fabulous for that. So don't forget to have a look through the catalogue and grab some of the things and get making into your Christmas cards, so that come Christmas you're not rushing. You've got them all ready to go. Enjoy your weekend. Hopefully it starts to warm up. We thought we were getting spring early, but we've gone back to winter here. So a little bit of sunshine right now coming through, but not much. Oh, thank you, Liz. Yeah, that's a great card. That was my class. They did it in class this month. I'll put that card and the other couple of cards they did in class on the page this weekend. So you'll be able to have a look. But that was one of the cards we did in class, and it's easy when you know what to do. It was an easy card to put together, because I try to make things very achievable so that you can do it at home too. All right, you take care, and I will catch you all next week. Bye-bye. Oh, I won't. Well, I'll try and do something next week. I forgot. I'm going to be away. We're going to Rosebud again. So that's our little place. We take our dear Bella, who she feels safe and comfortable there. So we're going to go down there again for a week. So I'll have to see what I can do next Saturday, because we'll be in Rosebud. I won't have my stand and my equipment, but we have done things before. So maybe I'll show you a kit, or a card that's quick and easy when you haven't got your cut and emboss machine and all your bits and pieces. All right, have a good week, and I will try and catch you next week. Otherwise, I'll definitely be back the week after. Take care. Bye-bye.